On this 50-point inspection, I have Unsung, which is a smoked Helles lager coming from Man Brewing out of Buffalo, New York. This beer comes in at 4.9% ABV and was gifted to me from FLX Beer Reviews. So thank you to Dan and Mike for hooking me up with this one. It's a small batch series from them and from Thin Man anyways. And let's go ahead and pour this into a pint glass, start this inspection. Alright, the head on this, it's kind of a rocky white head. The color of the beer itself is a nice straw gold, very clear, very effervescent. As you can see, all those carbonation bubbles just rushing up all around. It looks very nice. Head is dying down. As I said, it is rocky. So let's go ahead and get some aromas on this one. Yeah, it's got a little bit of that kind of grainy malt to it. Kind of a bit fruity. There's a touch of smoke, just a touch of smoke. There could be even like a fruity smoke. They could have used like a cherry wood or something. Maybe like an apple blend. Yeah, it's got this kind of fruity aroma to the smoke. It does kind of remind me of cherry. I think that's why I went with cherry wood first. So, no, not straight up like cherry pie, but it's like a subtle hint of it to me, like cherry skins or something. And yeah, some of that kind of grainy maltiness, like I said, a little bit of a bready malt aroma. Smells pretty decent. Let's dive in now for first swig here. So cheers. Very light body, effervescent, drying, crisp. The smoke comes through a lot more on the palate than it does in the aromas. And it doesn't taste like cherry. It's smoky. Still not overpowering though, which is nice. It just has that smokiness. It does linger on throughout. Plenty of like kind of bread notes out of this one. Cracker. Slight doughiness starts to kind of come up towards the finish as well. A little bit of a doughiness. Some of that grain flavor. Yeah, it's got like a good 4 different flavor notes just out of the malt alone. Hop on this, it does have kind of an earthy, zesty finish. Bitterness is noticeable. I'd say, I mean, for drinking something that's a lager, I mean, the bitterness is probably in the moderate level. So it's definitely noticeable. It does linger on. But that smoke is right there from the beginning to the finish too. But it still allows for all the nice maltiness to come through. I'd be curious to know what they smoked it with. Based off the flavor of it. I don't know. Got some hickory back there. There might be some hickory. We'll see. We'll see if there's any information on this beer when I look it up in the Untappd after I give it a score myself, and we'll just see. I'd like to see what other people were picking up out of it beyond what I was picking up. But yeah, nice easy drinker. It's another hot day here, so it's another day I can do this outside and just enjoy the time, enjoy the weather, enjoy the beer, and let's give it a score. So for the appearance on this one, I will give it that 6 out of 6. On the aromas, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. I would like a bit more smokiness. Maybe that would get rid of that kind of cherry note I was getting. Kind of playing with my mind, thinking about what could have been used as the wood for smoking this malt in this beer. But 17 out of 19 for the flavors. I like the way that the smoke did come through in the flavors. It wasn't overpowering. It was definitely there. It still allowed for all those nice bready notes to come through. The different malt settings of bread, from cracker to dough to actual bready maltiness and grain and everything else. Hops, yeah, earthy zinging, an earthy zestiness for the finish, for the bitterness. Good lingering bitterness too. 17 out of 19 for the flavors. Body on it, it's light, it's crisp, it's refreshing. It's what it should be. 5 out of 5 for that body. And my overall on this one, I'm at an 8 out of 10. So Unsung smoked Helles lager from Thin Man Brewing is going to get a bumpy 43.5 out of 50, which is going to land this as a very good beer. Now, looking on Untapped, like I say, let's put that up there so you can see that pretty beer. They say that it's modeled after the classic smoked beers of Bamberg. Unsung has moderate smoke on top of a crispy Helles base. Notes of baking bread are accompanied by a sweet beech smoke, so they use the beech wood. Kind of like they use beechwood staves for Budweiser. So, but this is smoked beechwood, so it's interesting. It's got a crisp malt with a clean, smoky finish. That's what they say. And yeah, so it's pretty clean. It's nice. I'm enjoying it. And I enjoyed it a lot more than the 145 folks that happened to rate this one, because they average out at a 3.65 out of 5, which would just put this as a good beer in my neck of the woods. But I'm thinking it's very good, because it is. So I want to thank Dan, Mike or Dan from FLX Beer Reviews for gifting this nice beer to me. I appreciate it. I do hope to have some more lovely brews in the future at some point, and try to get some different brews, some nice brews out to you guys again as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you all for watching. Till next time, cheers.